to this now. There seems to be cracks in the government of provincial unity in KwaZulu-Natal. The ANC has criticised Finance MEC Francois Rodgers. His remarks about the Transport Department, saying it is just days away from being placed under administration. DA KZN Deputy Leader is Sithembiso Ngema, who joins us now to respond to what the ANC had to say. Mr. Ngema, good evening to you. Thank you very much for your time. I'm not going to speak for the ANC. I'd like for us first to listen to Mr. Mike Mabuyakulu, who was speaking on behalf of the party in KZN, specifically on the question around the MEC of Finance, Francois Rodgers, because he had some choice words for him. Let's take a listen to this soundbite.
The ANC finds it repugnant that the utterances of the DA leader in the legislature and MEC for Finance, Mr. Francois Rodgers, where he is, in our view, abusing his position by politically targeting ANC-run departments and by issuing a public threat that he will place the Department of Transport under administration as he has done with the Department of Education. This posture cannot be left unchallenged because at the core of it, it is about how the government of provincial unity should function.
Mr. Ngema, there is the accusation that Mr. Rodgers is targeting ANC-run departments. How do you respond?
Thanks and good evening to you and your viewers. I think first and foremost, when we entered into the provincial unit, we were clear that we are here to serve the community of KwaZulu-Natal. We are here to ensure that the accountability is the practice of the day. We also wanted to ensure the residents of KwaZulu-Natal that they will get a new government who's going to hold all the departments accountable and corruption-free. And the fact speaks for themselves. When the Department of Education required upfront cash flow for norms and standard, MEC Francois Rodgers made a sum of 900 million available for the department. And that department is being led by the ANC, by the way. When the Department of Transport needed money to pay its suppliers, again, Francois Rodgers made it a point to make funds available for MEC to ensure that he's got enough money to pay his suppliers in his department. But also, when the Premier himself, Thamintuli, made a request to the Office of the Finance, led by the DA, Francois Rodgers, requesting money to ensure that we hired more nurses and doctors in KwaZulu-Natal. Again, Francois made it a point to ensure that there are funds available to serve that purpose. But we are not going to be instructed by the ANC as to how we must run the departments that we are in charge of, because we have never been placed by the ANC, by the way, to those departments. It's people who voted us. It's people of KwaZulu-Natal who were saying enough is enough. It's the people of KwaZulu-Natal who wanted to see the change in the province. It's people of KwaZulu-Natal who wanted to ensure that they've got a government of unity so that there is no one who is leading the government, but it's a unity. And to do a comparison on how going forward they are going to vote and ensure that the departments of government are run so that we save the money from those who were aligning themselves and their pockets to the money that belongs to the public.
Okay.
So we are proud with the leadership of Francois Rodgers, knowing exactly his experience in finance. So as Martin Meyer, who is also an MEC for Public Works within the province of KwaZulu-Natal, the leadership that we have deployed or assigned in these duties, we've assigned them knowing their experience. We've assigned them knowing their level of education. We've assigned them knowing exactly that when we were running the election campaign, we made promises to our people, and it was our responsibility to ensure that we keep those promises. And we give the people of KwaZulu-Natal a hope that they are now in a new government the government that is going to deliver, and the government that is going to ensure that we deal with the corruption. I think maybe Mabuyakulu need to also go back and ask himself this question to say, if he believes that the DAMEC is trying to put the ANC departments under administration so he can lead them, what is it that they are doing wrong?
Okay.
Because it's also important to do the introspection.
Okay, and so I think it's a fair point you're making that the ANC must introspect. But let's go with this step by step. Has the MEC Francois Rodgers, I know that the Democratic Alliance is his political home, and so perhaps his decisions in government, he may or may not necessarily confide in his party before he takes a decision. But has he told you why he intends to place the transport department under administration? Has he told you what his reasons would be for doing that?
Look, as a Democratic Alliance, we ensure that there is separation of powers. The way they conduct themselves in the legislature, it's got nothing to do with us at the provincial level to control them how they do their job. But what I can tell you is that anything that Francois Rodgers is doing it by the book. They must go and read the PFMA, and they've got every right to challenge Honorable Francois if he's doing something that is out of the book. So the reason we've got books, the reason we've got rules and regulations and acts is to ensure that whenever we do things in government, we do it by the book, and Francois Rodgers is doing things by the book.
Well, the problem that they have is that they saying Mr. Rodgers is weaponizing his position as MEC of Finance based on what they're saying is a political statement he makes without investigating, because the announcement appears to have been made somewhere in Kokstad where he was addressing, and that the transport department is days away from being placed under administration, but that investigations were still going to be conducted. So for the ANC, it's clear this is political targeting, because you can't place a department under administration while you intend to investigate. Is that a fair way of looking at it?
Look, as I touched on, that the ANC in the legislature, it's got its own members and the MECs. And if they believe that Francois Rodgers is doing something that is not in the book, it is their responsibility to challenge that. But what we know as the DA is that our leadership that has been assigned to this department, they're doing things by the book. And also Mabuyakulu, who was talking, because at the end of the day, it's not the MEC Duma who's leading the department. It's Mabuyakulu outside of the department. So that is what is questionable, because if it was Sithembiso Ngema saying what Mabuyakulu is saying, it was going to be a different story. But now it's not Sithembiso Ngema who's saying that. It's someone who's outside the government sphere who's saying that, which is then leaves us with no space but to say perhaps he doesn't have an understanding, a clear understanding of what's happening internally in the legislature. By the way, Francois Rodgers doesn't need to report to us as a party or take a lead from us on how to perform his duties in the legislature, because they are the books. There's PFMA that guides him. There's the team that guides him on how to do things. Okay. As I said before, that the ANC is not only the party that is there. There's also IFP MECs that are there. There's also the other political parties that are heading the government departments.
Let me bring a different case, which does not involve an ANC-run department this time. This time it is the IFP-run department. It's the MEC of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Reverend Thulasizwe Buthelezi. Are you satisfied with the manner in which he has handled the Umkanyagute district municipality matter?
Look, I wouldn't know the dynamics between the municipality in Umkanyagute as well as the office of the MEC Cocta to give exactly the clear answer on that. So I will be guessing if I can give you a clear answer unless I've got facts in front of me.
Well, this is part of the reason why the ANC then says there appears also to be collusion between the Democratic Alliance and the IFP. You are significant partners in this government of provincial unity, because they of the view that this matter under MEC Buthelezi, which was to place Umkanyagute under administration, this was done completely wrong, and according to them, the legality of the intervention has even lapsed. This was on the 25th of July, they say, because there was no concurrence from the Cocta minister. This matter has been in the news for the longest of time, Mr. Ngema. It surprises me that you have no knowledge of what's been going on in Umkanyagute.
Yeah, I do have knowledge of what was going on in Umkanyagute, but I said I do not have facts presently to me. So I don't want to find myself talking about something that I'm assuming or talking about something that I read on the news. But what I'm trying to say here is that as the DA, the party that I serve, is that anything that Francois is doing in the legislature, the leadership of the ANC can challenge it by the book, not by the hearsay. But on top of that, the same Department of Transport, as I said when I was beginning my interview, is that they went to Francois Rodgers when they couldn't pay the suppliers. They went to Francois Rodgers and he made funds available for them. If Francois was suppressing them, can I show you they wouldn't get the money that they wanted?
All right.
So it's only.
I apologize for cutting in. All right, I think you've made your point there. Let's conclude perhaps the conversation then on the question about the stability of the government of provincial unity. Are you worried that this has a destabilizing factor within the government itself, or is this a non-issue really? The ANC needs to sort itself out.
I think first and foremost, the ANC need to sort itself out. We understood when we took over these departments that it's not going to be nice. Judging from the history of these departments, the level of corruption, the level of giving tenders to friends and comrades. So we knew that when we took over these two departments, yes, there will be people who will be not happy about it, but we are not intimidated or shaken by these rhetorics. We are going to continue being in government to serve the people of KwaZulu-Natal. We believe in our leadership that is assigned to these positions. And also, we believe that the government of provincial unit is going to stay until the end of the term.
Just as a parting shot, and I'm asking you this now, as a party that is in government, not only at a national level, some of your DA leaders hold ministerial positions at national government, but this is specific to KZN. Today we learned that 121 case dockets that were being investigated and handled by the Political Killings Task Team are going to be making their way back to KZN. Do you believe that whatever corruption, whatever killings that were being planned and plotted, this is now going to be revealed, particularly to the people of KZN? And by the way, are you satisfied with how Commissioner Mkhwanazi is running things in KZN. If he were to be removed, would that be a bad decision for KZN?
I think the most important part is that SAPS is a national mandate, not a provincial mandate. So the province has got less to say. But what we have seen recently is SAPS ensuring that perpetrators are put behind the bars. It's not for us to put the cart before the horse, judging whether these cases will be thoroughly investigated and we will see the light at the end of the tunnel or not. But what we can attest to is that we have seen the level of crime in KwaZulu-Natal coming down. We have seen also the arrest made by the police. So we still believe that the police will do their job to ensure that perpetrators are kept behind the bars.
Okay, I get you. I take to heart what you are saying, that policing is a national competence. But the Premier, talking to this channel some time ago, said he has full confidence in Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, and what makes him even happier about his work is that business confidence is returning to KZN, whereas previously the issues of crime were possibly a deterrent for investment. So what I'm simply asking you is, do you have full confidence in General Mkhwanazi, much like the Premier does?
I will say, because what we need to have a clear understanding here is that it's not only Mkhwanazi who's working in KZN. The police are working in KZN. And without police, we will never see the success of Commissioner Mkhwanazi. So unitedly as they are, we believe that SAPS will do the good job. We believe that they will, and we believe that the perpetrators we will put behind the bars. It's not us to make judgments as to who's better than who, but the most important thing is to ensure safety and security across the province and ensure that the criminals are being put where they belong.
Sithembiso Ngema, thank you very much for your time, the Deputy Leader of the Democratic Alliance in KwaZulu-Natal.